Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Envis Mavericks. Thank you so much for clicking this video. It is absolutely lovely to see you all here. I'd like to tell you all a story today. Story of how I ran indoor track for my high school. Now, if you're not familiar with indoor track, think outdoor track, but a lot more high stakes. Instead of competing at other high schools, you compete at colleges and stuff. And only the best of the best get to compete. So while a lot of people come to practice, and we call them practice squad, they don't ever go to races because they're just not good enough. I remember it was the Monday after Christmas break that we all got back to school. I get a notification on my phone. One of my cross-country coaches had tagged all of us in our group chat. He's like, "Hey, y'all come to indoor track recruitment and everything, blah blah blah, meeting in my classroom." So I'm like, oh, alright, let's do it. And so, at the meeting, there were a lot of people from my cross-country team. A lot of my brothers and sisters that I've been training with since September. Then we had some fresh faces as well. And, one kid in particular caught my eye. His name is Sam. I stayed after to talk to my coach about good shoes to get for, indoor track. And maybe some good shoe spikes, too. Because I went from a 29:57 to a 19:35 3-mile time for cross-country season, which, is great, in my opinion, because it was only, like, what, 2 months of training? And, I didn't even use any fucking shoe spikes. And I probably would have run a lot faster if I did. But, so I was trying to find good shoe spikes. I noticed the new kid, Sam, he was expressing doubts about his abilities and his capabilities, what he was able to do this season. My coach was reassuring him, and he's like, "Hey, listen, see Envis here? Envis was like one of our slowest, like if not our very slowest. But he worked his way up, and he trained every single day and made it his mission. He devoted himself to our practices, our training, and he is now one of our fastest." And that really made me feel good, because I made my coaches proud, and this was proof of that, because he was, it was great. And so I reassured Sam as well, put my hand on his shoulder, pat him on the back, I'm like, "You got this, look, we're gonna do great things, you're gonna do great things, I'm gonna do great things too, but you're gonna do better things, alright, because you still got 3 more years of high school, this is my senior year." And, so as we were both leaving, I noticed we were wearing the same shoes, and we started talking, striking conversation. It was great. Every day at practice, Sam would give it his best. I would give it my best, and I noticed Sam would give it his best too. But Sam was struggling. He was the slowest out of all of our boys, but he never gave up, and he kept that burning determination in his heart, because he wanted to get better, and he wanted to make our coach proud, and he wanted to feel like he was part of the team, and he wanted us to, like, accept him. I picked up on this right away, because I was the exact same way for cross-country season. I immediately took a liking to him, because he reminded me of me. Like, it was literally, Sam is literally, like, me. And I did my best to help him in every single possible way I could and show him everything I'd learned, because I could already see that he was gonna become much, much better than probably all of us if he, with this attitude that he had. And I wanted to help him get there as best I could, because I saw myself in him. And everyone else, all my brothers and sisters picked up on that too. All my teammates, they picked up on that too. Even our other newbies that were starting to get better, they all picked up on that. Because mainly my teammates in September picked up on that, because they saw me in him. And they did their best to help as well. And because they had seen this before with me, and now they were seeing it again with him. I would always stay behind to help coach clean up and do stuff, and like, it's like, anyone want to pick up the cones? I was always right on that, doing above and beyond to do my part. And Sam, I noticed, had really taken a liking to me too, so he had started, like, he had started, like, helping, like, everywhere I go, Sam was with me, we were together, and, it was great. That was me and my friend Dom were helping him to get better, because for cross-country season, Dom and I essentially grew together and had linear progression. Me, Dom, and Briston, yeah. The three of us, we were like the three amigos. The three of us were like, all three of us grew together. So we were helping Sam and everything, and it was great. He was getting better. There was improvement. It was awesome. A couple weeks into practice, we start practicing relays, relay handoffs and grabs and stuff. We had a time trial day. Each of us ran 800 meters, like an 800 meter dash, basically. Getting a time trial to see who would be running the relays. And I think my time was 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And I felt like I didn't even break a sweat. When last year for track, my 800 meter time was 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And that killed me every time I ran it. So I got selected to run for the 800 meter relay. This was indoor track, the higher stakes version of outdoor track, and this was indoor track, this was high stakes, and I was selected to run in this 800 meter relay race. I was astonished. I couldn't believe it, and Sam was so proud of me. It was, Dom was too. It was great. Our first meet was, it was at a college. I had to drive 2 hours. My dad brought me. I drank a gallon of water every day that we'd have practice. Even on the weekends, too. It was just what I did. Hydrate or dihydrate, right? I don't like my dad very much. A lot of my teammates offered to bring me to the meet and everything. Even my coach offered to bring me to the meet, because they know that my dad and I don't get along very well. So, I'm not sure how, but somehow my dad found out that I have a race. He insisted on bringing me. I was gonna ride with my teammates, with my friends, my fucking brothers and sisters, but no. My dad insisted on him bringing me and everything, because he wanted to feel like he was a part of something that he was not a part of at all. Every day after cross-country practice and indoor track practice, I would walk home. I lived 3 miles away from my school. Maybe that plays into why I got as good as I did. Anyways, my dad wanted to bring me to this meet because he wanted to feel like he was part of something that was not his place, that he was not a part of. He intimidated me, and I ended up giving in. So I had my gallon jug of water, like literally a fucking milk jug that I filled up with water, and I was sipping on it for the day before the race at like 5 p.m. And he was freaking out. He didn't want to have to stop to let me use the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, I'll just pee in this empty Gatorade bottle over here then. And he's like, no, you're not gonna do that either. That's unsanitary. You're gonna hold it. I'm like, Dad, it's a 2-hour drive. He's like, I don't care. We're not stopping. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing this for you. I didn't have to do this. And I'm like, and I was just thinking about how my teammates really wanted me to ride with them, because we were all gonna like ride together and just have a good time and laugh and everything, because they're my team. And my dad insisted on bringing me, and now he's doing this to me. And I kept my mouth shut, and I didn't say anything about it. And then he just sat there complaining for the rest of the ride about, well, everything. So anyways, we get to the college, we set up our tent in this little field, and we're doing our warm-ups, our exercises and everything. My dad is trying to talk to the other parents and my teammates and my coach. My coach already doesn't like my dad because he knows, like, he knows a little bit about me and my dad not getting along. So my dad was, like, making everybody uncomfortable, and my coach just straight up, like, did not even, like, speak to him. He was, like, pretending like he wasn't there. So we're there for a couple hours, and then it's finally our time to race. The 800 meter relay. I was the third leg in the relay, and when I got the baton, I took off. I ran. I did my best to run 800 meters as quick as I could. It was weird though, because I'd been training for long distance and everything for so long. Adapting to speed was different. And I tried. I pushed myself with everything I could to try to adapt and to the faster speed and try to do well. I started getting really, really dehydrated, and it became so hard to run, and my mouth went dry as a fucking bone. And I did my best to keep up with the other racers, and I And I did. And I ran 2 minutes and 36 seconds, which that's like a second faster than my time from last year, I think. And last year it killed me. I barely broke a sweat. I was really fucking thirsty though, because I didn't drink enough. So I was slower than I should have been. Car ride back home was really quiet and there was a lot of tension in the car between me and my dad, because he was disappointed that I wasn't faster with all this training I'd done and everything. And it's my fault that I didn't drink enough when he freaked out about not wanting to stop or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. So practice the next day at school, I'm talking to my coach and told him what happened. He's like, damn, I'm really sorry to hear that. I told him, like, it won't happen again. I'll do my best. I'll do better. And the next few weeks just went normal. Practice as usual and everything. Despite everything, my newer teammates, they kind of looked up to me as like an inspiration, I guess. I would show up every day, give it my 100% at practice, stay behind, help coach and everything. And I remember one day after practice, everyone was waiting for their rides. I was just hanging around because I don't have a ride. I kind of just like run home, walk home, whatever. I'd sometimes get a ride from my friend Connor or Clay or any one of my brothers or sisters, but I felt dirty about it because I wasn't able to pay them for gas and everything. So I remember one time I paid Connor in the form of a banana. He drove me home. I'm like, hey Connor, sorry I couldn't pay you for gas. Here's a banana. And he's like, oh thanks. He's just like eating it and shit. We're all in the gym playing basketball. And my coach comes in, he's like, hey. And he yells, he's like, hey, what y'all doing? And we're all like, oh shit, we're in trouble. He's like, balling up without me? And he's like, you're on my team. And we're like, yes sir. And it was great. We had a 4v4, because we were the Goofy Goobers. We were trying to figure out a team name. My coach is like, what should our team name be? Sam's like, I don't know. And then it was really awkward for a second, so I tried to break the awkwardness. I'm like, Goofy Goobers. And coach is like, oh, are we really doing that? And Sam's like, yeah. And then I'm like, hey, in the middle, guys. And then coach is like, on three, 1, 2, 3, Goofy, Goofy, Goofy Goobers, yeah! So that was our little war cry. We played basketball. It was so much fun. I remember when everyone left and I started to walk home, my coach held me behind, he talked to me, he's like, hey, I'm really proud of all the progress you've made since cross-country season. I've watched you grow, I've watched you get better, I've watched you make a name for yourself. I'm thinking that you should be the captain of this team, because you do your best to connect with everybody on a personal level and everything, make sure everyone's okay, and I've seen how you've taken Sam under your wing and everything, and I'm really happy to see that. And I'm really happy to see that your progress and everything hasn't gone to your head, and you're still humble and doing your best to help everyone. I didn't have words. I was in tears of joy. Like, he didn't see it, but whenever I was walking home, I was like crying because I was so happy, because that meant so much to me. My new teammates looked up to me as an inspiration, and a couple of them even told me, they're like, yo, are you the captain? And I'm like, we're all captains, and we're all in this together, is essentially the way I'd put it. So come the second meet, we were supposed to have 8 meets or something, maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, some number up there, but we only ended up having 3. A bunch were canceled due to like COVID outbreaks or whatever. So our second meet, once again, my dad insisted on bringing me. I didn't really have a choice in the matter because I'm young and I'm stupid and I let myself be intimidated by someone who is physically stronger than me. Again, somehow my dad found out that I'm the captain of the team. So he goes, I heard you're the captain now, huh? I was like, yep, that's me. And he's like, you keeping everybody in line? Excuse me? Dad, what the fuck? He's like, you're a captain, you gotta keep everybody in line and make sure they all do what they're told. And I just looked at him. And I'm just like, I'm not a fucking tyrant like you. That really pissed him off. And he just looked at me. And he's like, no, son, you're a leader. And I'm not a tyrant. I was a great dad. Blah, blah, blah. Going into all this shit. And then it just starts bringing up these horrible, traumatic memories for me. And I'm just like, shut up. Stop talking. No, no, I don't want to talk about this. The last thing I said to my dad for the entire car ride was, Dad, Being a leader is showing people how to lead themselves. And he just looked at me. He's like, no, being a leader is making sure people stay in line, people fall in line and stay in line, blah, blah, blah. That's how I was with you and your brothers. And I just looked at him like, yeah, I know. I'm very aware, because I was there. This time, I was put on the mile and the 800. For the mile, I ran a 5-minute and 45-second mile. My mile time last year was a 5-minute 54-second mile. I ran 9 seconds faster than I did last year, and I didn't even break a sweat. It was like, holy shit, and I could have gone so much faster. And my coach was throughout the race, my coach was giving me call-outs just like he did back in cross-country season. And one of the call-outs he gave was, let him take you, let him take you. I thought what that meant was me being the stupid little dummy I am. I thought that meant let this person pass me, like let them overtake me, because they're just faster than me, and I should focus. And I'm really only racing against myself in my time. I have never been so stupid, because let them take you means just match their pace and let them take you with them, trail on with them. That's what that means. And I fucked up, and it was so embarrassing because so many people passed me, but I still ran 9 seconds faster than I did for outdoor track last year, and I didn't even fucking break a sweat either. And then the 800-meter relay, I was second leg this time. I ran 2 minutes 33 seconds, which was even faster than last time. And funny story, I actually messed up the fucking I got confused because my buddy Gucci was out on the track before he was supposed to be. And like, so were the other people that were like gonna get the stick next. And I still had another lap, and I was confused, and because I ran past him, and I turned around and I stopped for like a good like 3 seconds, and Clay and Connor pointed at me, they're like, just fucking go. I'm like, okay. And apparently I just got confused, and I still had another lap to go, but I ran 2 minutes and 33 seconds even despite, like, you know, losing time like that. And I was improving still. I was just, yeah, I mean, I'm still goofy little me, but I was getting better, and my coach was proud of me. For the last meet, my coach only brought my friends Connor, Dylan, and JC, because JC was our fastest girl, Connor was our fastest boy, and Dylan was our best jumper. He only brought them for that last race, but that was okay. I got to run at colleges. I had people cheering my name, and I got glory, and it was great. I was better. I was stronger. I still showed up to every single practice, just like, and we all showed up to every single practice. I was ready. So ready for outdoor track. I was so excited to see how much better I would be. I was ready. I was ready for anything. I was gonna make that stupid shit-ass coach I had last year, I was gonna make him eat his fucking words. And I was gonna show him that I would be 1,000 times better than he could have ever been. But, on the last week of indoor track practice, my coach, he held us all behind to talk to us. He was so very proud of all of us, and he was, he really loved getting to know each and every one of us since September, and even all the newbies, and he was so excited to see how far each and every one of us would go. Me and Sam were standing there almost tearing up, because Sam hadn't been there since September with cross country for us, but he had already gotten so much better than he was before, and I was so excited for outdoor track because I was so excited to see what he can do. I think someone like spoke up and said something like, "What's you getting all sappy on us for, coach?" And our coach looked at all of us and told us, he's like, "I gotta step aside for outdoor track this year. I'm sorry, everyone." Kind of left a little pit in my stomach. We'd been training with him for months, ever since September, since cross country season, the beginning of cross country season. But, you know, I get it. He carefully constructed each and every one of our single workouts from scratch. and tailored each and every single one of them, like every single change for everyone having different problems and everything, because he wanted each and every one of us to be our best. On top of being a teacher, dealing with a bunch of shit-ass little kids all day. So I understood. It takes a very strong person to be able to do that every single day, and he did for months and months and months, and I was so happy to call him my coach. He told us that he's gonna be sending us workouts. That's what we were gonna, that was gonna be our training for distance for track. Was he's like, he wasn't gonna be there in person with us. He was sending us our workouts through our group chat. So he looks at me and then he looks at Connor. He's like, I want you guys to make sure everyone does what they need to do. All right? So I gave a little like army salute, and Connor was like, yes sir. I was so ready. I looked to my side, I looked at Connor, the friend who just on a whim, you should come run with me one day. Sure, why not? Over a year and a half ago. We had grown so much. I was getting better and better. I was almost as good as him now. Almost. I wasn't too far behind him. He was still, I mean, Connor is still like so much better than me, but I was catching up. I wanted to make good on that promise. I wanted to be able to run with him, to be able to keep up with him, and to be able to run with him. Gave each other a fist bump because I know he was probably thinking the same thing as we looked at each other. We put all our hands in the middle and gave one last cheer as a team with our coach. Connor brought me home that day. Brought some of our other teammates home too. That stupid bald fuck we had last year, that poor sad sorry excuse for a coach. If only he could see us now. Outdoor track season was about to start. And this time I was ready. And this time I was gonna make good on that promise. I was gonna run with Connor and we were gonna be the best. Thanks for watching.